What is going on, Phantom Army? It is your boy Phantom Stilts, and welcome back to another brand new video on the channel. Today, I am at a loss for words because I found out some new information that was published yesterday, or actually 2 days ago, that there are going to be microtransactions now in AAA games. That this is a very real thing that we have to take very seriously with our gaming community, and I'm not too happy about it. This is something I thought was only in mobile games and in mobile apps, but it's turning into a very real thing that we have to take very seriously. I have a GameSpot interview with Shannon Loftus, who is the publishing director, the publishing head of Xbox, and we're going to get right into the video, guys, and hash out this topic, so get ready. So here we are, guys. We are on the GameSpot website. The first thing that catches my eye, obviously, because it's in bold text, is the title of the article. Now, the single-player games are not dead, but the economics are complicated, Xbox boss says. So Shannon Loftus is already saying that single-player games are getting more and more complicated for publishers and developers to make these games because of their budget being so low. Now, microtransactions would help with that, but it also takes away from the luster of the games. It also goes on to say that she doesn't think that there's ever going to be a time when there aren't single-player story-based games. This is good news, but stuff with microtransactions can really take away from a game. Now, microtransactions aren't a new thing in AAA titles. There's something that's becoming more commonplace and that are going to be in almost every game from now on. But I think the first game that I remember that had microtransactions was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. That's a game that I played that had microtransactions in it with the supply drops and things like that. We saw it in Black Ops 3. We saw it in Infinite Warfare. We've seen it in a couple of games, a lot of AAA titles, but it's never been something that was, games that are going to have, every AAA title is going to have a microtransaction system. The quote that makes me feel a little bit better as I was reading through this article is actually right here. Game development in general is about a couple of things. It's about delivering an experience, and it's about telling stories. Storytelling is essential to game development as it has ever been, Loftus said. So basically what she's saying is that story-based games are about the story. They're about good stories and about good characters and about character development and making a game that you can really be proud of and developers and publishers can be proud of. But I think a microtransaction system would take away from that, especially a game that's a story-based first-person game or a first-party game that's about a story. Like Call of Duty, a lot of people play Call of Duty for the multiplayer. They don't really play it for the campaign. So I could see how a microtransaction system would work within Call of Duty, but something like Shadow of War, it's a story-based game. There is no multiplayer. So it's a single-person story, but you have microtransactions. That doesn't make sense to me. Then the article makes a few good points with a couple of games and single-player only games that have used microtransaction systems, and the game has actually benefited from that, like Fallout 4, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Ori series, as you guys can see in the article. Then Loftus actually goes on to explain further down the article, as you guys can see on the screen, that Microsoft's Netflix-style Xbox Game Pass service for Xbox One, which costs $10 a month for access to a library of more than 100 games, is one method by which Microsoft can help fund single-player only games. Now, I think Game Pass is actually a really bad idea. There's nothing on Game Pass that I haven't played already, and why would I pay $10 a month to play games that are outdated, such as like 2K14 or 2K15, NBA games, Madden games, WWE, games that are outdated. There's no reason for me to buy Game Pass and play games that I've already played. It's completely useless. The good thing about Xbox Game Pass and the subscription style that they have for Xbox Game Pass is the money is going to AAA games and single-player only games to help fund those games, to help developers and publishers with their gaming budget in order to make better games. Games in 4K are not cheap to make, so this is one avenue they use to sort of help those games along. But we see further down the article that one recent high-profile exclusively single-player game, Middle of Shadow of War, like I said, has microtransactions in it. But you can also grind the game in order to make that game your own. You can grind the game in order to get the same stuff. It might take a little bit longer, but that's the point of a video game, is to grind and to make the story your own. I understand people are about making money, but microtransactions just takes away from games in my personal opinion. Basically what I can gather from this article is Loftus basically wants to turn every AAA game into an MMORPG where you have a community based around the game. Like World of Warcraft is a perfect example of an MMORPG that has a lot of community-based help and microtransactions and stuff that progress the game through microtransactions. Now, World of Warcraft is a great game franchise. It's one of the most popular PC games ever, but it's not something that I would play. And if you're trying to turn Shadow of War or a Fallout 4 or an Ori series or Horizon Zero Dawn, those games are not complete because they have a microtransaction system. Now, I would rather grind a game and get the stuff that I need rather than have to pay for it. Now, I realize that this business is about making money and they want to get as much money out of people as they can, but you also have to make a quality product, and I think that takes away, microtransactions take away from the quality of the game that you're coming out. But this is what I think about the article. This is what I think about the microtransactions, everything that's going on with AAA games. It's sort of a murky subject. I see where it has value. I also see where it doesn't have value. And I'm leaning more towards the side that doesn't have value. It takes away from the luster of video games and is going to be a real hindrance when it comes to picking out games that you want to play, because they have this microtransaction system that you have to pay for. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of the microtransactions and everything that's going on with AAA games. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's something they should stop doing? Or do you think it's something that can have value? But without any further ado, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I know this is sort of a weird topic and one that a lot of people are up in arms about, but I wanted to sort of hash it out and give you guys my 2 cents on the subject. So without any further ado, this is your boy Phantom Stilts. I will see you guys on the next video. Take care. Make sure to subscribe if you guys are new, and comment down below what you guys think of the entire thing, whether it's a good or bad idea. I want to hear from you guys. But without any further ado, like I said, I will see you guys on the next video. Take care.